Yo guys, what's up? So today is a video on the new demo mode seasonals and our path, which nobody else is doing, and our ultimate plan to bring Hey Boys domination to this season of demo mode. This time we decided to take a different route, and rather than being the Alcarid Fire Strikers that we were in the past with like 300 people, this time just 5 or 6 of my friends in Discord and I decided to control the early hunter economy. We wanted to be the first ones to loot Dragon Implings anywhere in the game, in specific Puro, like that's where we'd most likely catch them, but anywhere in the game, and just be able to make a lot of money off these Dragon Implings and Magpie Implings and Ninja Implings, which we're going to be catching most likely, like I said, at Puro. So we want to rush that as soon as possible because it's insane money. People will buy chins at insane prices really early on, and you make quite a bit of money. So at the start, there were 4 of us who decided to try and take over the hunter high scores, the hunter economy. It was just 4 of us in a Discord going at it. So what we did was, right off the bat, we got off into Varrock. We took Skippy to Varrock, went ahead and thieved a couple of the men there for a bit of GP and the thieving level to be able to thieve teas. And then we went to the tea stall, went ahead and thieved some teas, and then went straight to the strongholds, and with those teas, which hopefully would help us survive, we looted our 10k. From there, we went down to Lumbridge with a home tele, ran straight west to Port Sarum, took a charter ship to Port Khazard, and then from Port Khazard, we walked down to Yanil, where we instantly went to the hunter shop, and there we bought quite a few box traps and bird snares. There you go. There's our first like half an hour in a minute and a half. We could have done a couple things different than going to Stronghold and be actually the first ones down here hunting. There was actually quite a few people here when we already got here, but that's mainly because they probably didn't go to Stronghold right away. What they did was they may have thieved for like their 500 GP on men, which would actually take quite a bit. I don't really know why they came here so early, because our original goal was to be here doing Crimson Swifts and Tropical Wagtails until 43, and then at 43 we went to Falconry up northwest of the Gnome Strongholds. Now, in order to use the guy's Falcon, I think you need like 500 GP or something like that. So I don't know where these guys who are here instantly got their stuff from. Maybe they were just that much faster than us. But that was our goal. So from 1 to 19 Hunter, we did Crimson Swifts, obviously with the 5 times XP boost. And I think at the very beginning, you have like a 10 times XP boost. It goes very, very quick. But we did 1 to 19 here, and then from 1 to 19, we went up to the northwest corner of this area where the Tropical Wagtails were, and we did 19 to 43 at the Tropical Wagtails. At this point, I'd say that while hopping worlds, there was probably about 25 other people doing the same route we were, so we were about 4 of, I'd say, the 30 total people doing this method. Every world had at least somebody else in it, but at this point we're making pretty good time, and we're probably one of the fastest 10 people to get to 43. It was a pretty quick grind, actually. At level 40 you can place 3 traps on the ground, which made the Tropical Wagtails go by pretty quickly. I was pretty happy with how fast it went. Now, actually doing the birds, so the Crimson Swifts and the Tropical Wagtails, helps out not only with Hunter but with Prayer as well, especially on demo mode. So from 1 to 43 Hunter, we got 1 to 18 Prayer, I believe is what it was, which was very beneficial at the early levels. And you guys will see later that Falconry is even better for it. But anyways, from here, we just had a quick trip up to Artie. So we just walked from Feldup Hills to Artie, which is actually pretty scary, especially at level 10, because you have to walk by a couple ogres. I don't think their max hit is 10. We were getting hit 7s occasionally, but anyway, still really scary. I mean, you guys know at level 10 how scary it is, especially on like a hardcore demo mode. Anyways, so we walked up from Yanil to Artie, and there we thieved about an inventory of cakes. Your thieving goes up really quickly, and the cakes are very useful to level 10 because it heals up a bunch of your HP. You guys know all this stuff already. I just didn't want to make the intro videos so long for what we did, because everybody knows these videos like are the same every time. But I want to try something different in Hunter, and that's what we're doing right now. So anyways, we went up from Artie to Gnome Stronghold, which was the longest walk ever. Don't know why, but it sucks. Or not from Artie, yeah, from Artie to Gnome Stronghold, and then from Gnome Stronghold we had to go even farther up to near where Piscatoris is, where you can fish monkfish, because that's where Falconry is, and we are going to be catching Kebits from 43 to 57. So we rented out the Falcon, which was about 500 GP, and then we basically just clicked on a Kebit, the Falcon swoops in. It was about 500 XP per Kebit that we caught, which is very fast for those early hunter levels. I'd say from 43 to 67, it was about an hour and a half of being there, maybe almost 2 hours. I'm not really sure, but we ended up getting not only 67 hunters with what I stopped at, we actually ended up getting 37 Prayer as well, which was insanely useful, especially on a level like 10, or we were level 8 at this point. We got 37 Prayer just from burying the bones from the Crimson Swifts, Tropical Wagtails, and then the Dark Kebits, and I think it was the Dashing Kebits or something. I don't even know which Kebits we caught. The lowest level Kebits that you can catch. We caught those, and got 37 per off it, which was really useful. We didn't have to go kill hill giants for big bones or dragons for their bones. We just did it all from Hunter, which is, I guess, I'm not really sure if it's useful on a regular account, but in our case, it was extremely useful because we got that Protect Mage out really early. Now, one of our friends, Pwned, actually decided that he wanted to do some PKing early on. He had done his route of just getting his stats up a little bit, especially his range and his defense, I'm guessing. I don't really know the whole story, but he was a pretty decent level at this point while we were hunting. Now, what we noticed was a lot of people were crashing us at Falconry. Since we were one of the first, 5 or 6 people there, our group, all of a sudden, more people started coming in, and he wanted to go PKing right away. So we just said, hey, come kill these people at Falconry so we can have these spots to ourselves. I know it seems a bit scumbaggy, and maybe it is, but I mean, I guess that's the way, a real clan operates, okay? We got people doing different jobs. We got people, making sure that Hey Boys is a step above the rest. No, I'm kidding. But the thing is, what made these guys really profitable is that they did the same route we did. They actually went to Stronghold and then went straight to Wagtails and all and Crimson Swifts and then went straight to Falconry. So a lot of them still had their cash deck on them, which you can actually see I did as well in my early on levels. But they still had 7k on them from Stronghold. So this guy who was killing these people at Falconry was making 60, 70k off all these cash stacks he was getting because people just hadn't banked or bought anything with their cash stacks. It was just in their bank. So it was actually really useful for him because he got a pretty big cash stack early on. But in total, he actually ended up killing I think 15 or 16 different people at Falconry. So a lot of people actually stopped their hunter grind early on because he killed them. And luckily this led us to being, one of the very few remaining people left who were doing the hunter. Now, the only other people who were doing it most likely didn't come to Falconry, or if they did, they came a lot later than us. And then after Falconry, they ended up going somewhere else. Our plan was to do Falconry and then Red Chins and then Black Chins. But I could totally understand if some other people did Orange Lizards in the desert or even Red Salamanders or Red Salamanders, or they did up in the snowy hunter area, they did something else. They may not have done our plan, but anyways, at this point, we were still at the top of the high scores. It was really cool seeing me at number 1. Don't really see that often. Probably going to make the thumbnail of this video, not going to lie. But at this point, yeah, we're doing really well, and we're at Red Chins within about 3.5 hours of release. Like I mentioned earlier, we decided to stay at Falconry for 37 prayer because they dropped bones, the Kebits, which we just wanted to keep burying since it was pretty nice, free prayer XP. Why not? But we stayed there till 37 prayer, and then after that, we went down to Red Chins back in Feldup Hills. Now, here's where I died for the first time. I died to a peak air, wasn't really paying attention, and I totally forgot that I had Protect from Mage. I don't think I recorded it, unfortunately, but I did die there. Lost about 70 Red Chins, but wasn't really that big of a deal. I don't think anybody was even buying them at this point. It wasn't that big of a loss. Anyways, we went right back afterwards, and Red Chins were a bit slower XP than Falconry just because when you start off, it's a little bit sort of annoying just resetting them all the time and getting them in the traps. But we'd be making eventually a lot more money here doing the Red Chins than we ever would at Falconry. But we did this from, I think, 66 or 67 to 73. And at 73, we decided to make the leap to the big boys, the Black Dragons in, well, those are pretty big, the Black Chinchampas in the Wilderness. So now came the Black Chinchampas in the Wilderness. Now here's where the XP starts rolling in because you can place, I think, 1 more trap in the Wilderness, or I'm not sure, but we were able to place 5 traps here and then at 60 Hunter and then 6 at 80. I think I've got that right. I might be wrong. Anyways, so at this point, we had 3 guys left doing Hunter. One of our guys, Mag, Unreal's RuneScape, if you guys remember him back in the day, Brian, he actually ended up dying 3 times to Green Dragons, so we decided not to play anymore, so shout out to Brian. Love you, brother. Anyways, the remaining 3 were Worf, Adam, Cuz, Jordan, and then me, so we went to Black Chins and just camped on a world and hunted Black Chins. Really simple. Our goal was to go from 73 to 83, 10 levels. Beginning was very fast. The latter stages were a bit of a grind, as usual, but we had 3 or 4 other guys at Green Dragons training, so every time somebody got on us, we called those guys up who protected us, which was really nice. I think from 73 to 83, I never died. One of my friends died once, so it was really good because we got to keep all of our Black Chins except for maybe 150 or 200 or so it was really useful. So our third guy hunting, Cuz, decided to stop at 75 Hunter just because he wanted to get off. So the final 2 going for it were Worf and I, and we ended up getting 83 Hunter, I'd say about 11 hours into the seasonals, which could have been done maybe faster. I might be wrong with that time frame. But we did end up getting it at 2, 3 in the morning after the seasonals came out at 2, 3 in the afternoon. So 11 hours or so, I'd say, is how much time it took us, which was sick. And we were, in fact, the first ones there. I think I was the first one at 83, and then Adam was, I think, maybe top 4 or 5, just because I ended up staying up really late because I wanted to get it done. After I got 83 though, I didn't really take advantage of it. I just went straight to bed. I didn't go straight to Puro Puro. I was just really tired and wanted to go to bed. But I was really happy that I got 83, and in the morning was when I'd start the grind for doing things like Lost City and just getting my combo level up, just so I wouldn't be level, like 5 at Puro Puro, just getting destroyed by everybody. I really just wanted to get my combat up so I could actually, survive attacks from people there, because I knew there'd be people PKing there. But anyways, guys, so from the loot from 83 combined from, I'd say, about, I think 3-4 people, here are the chins that we had. So about 1,800 black chins and 450 red chins. Now that is only from me getting to 83. Some of my friends, when I made this video or took this video or recorded this video, lots of different ways to say that, still hadn't gotten to 83, so this grew a little bit. But that's when I got to 83, that was the chin stack we had. So at this point, the chins were going for about 600 each, so we were pretty rich, but we ended up waiting until a little bit later to sell them because they did actually rise in price. Immediately following the 83 Hunter, I decided to go back to Lumbridge and just train up on Callus so I can get my combat up, because like I mentioned earlier, people probably will be attacking us at Puro Puro, and I wanted to be able to survive those attacks. So getting defense up for me was a priority, and I got 40 defense at Cows with like a steel dagger. It was so fast though, because 5 times XP. So shout out to the 5 times and 10 times XP. Quite lovely. After that, we went to do Lost City. I did that with Framed Kevin, and we got that finished. So at this point, I pretty much had full access to Puro Puro. I had everything I needed. The only thing would really make my life easier is if I had a couple teleports around the map, just in case I saw, or there was a reported Dragon Imp around the world or something. But I also wanted to get my magic up just so I can teleport to Varrock and Lumbridge really quickly with all my loot that I had. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's it for this video. So next video is going to be looting Dragon Imps and stuff for the first time. So if you guys did enjoy the video and you guys like this episode, please leave a like and a comment on the video, and I hope to see you next time. Hope you guys are having a great holiday. Peace.
Wow.